Oh my God, guys, Bonnie Blue is pregnant. Who the daddy? Can the real daddy please stand up? I mean, let's be honest. That is going to take some situation to find out who he may be, because he may not be her husband. I mean, you can absolutely imagine what it would be like for this kid at school, and it wouldn't be very, very pleasant for them at all, knowing, obviously, what their mother's kind of history is. I mean, you can imagine this. You're going to have to go through 1,000 people to find out who he may be. Like, what the F? Like, this is crazy. What is going on in the world? Things like this should not be normalized.
And the girl that's slept with 1,057 men, and it's rumored that I'm pregnant. I'm just asking for a friend, but like, how quickly do you think I'll be able to push this baby out?
Bonnie Blue, the OnlyFans content creator who broke the internet with her shocking, wild record, engaging with 1,057 men in less than 12 hours, is back in the headlines. This time, it's not about breaking records, but about a rumor that sent the internet into a frenzy. Bonnie seemingly hinted at being pregnant, and as expected, social media went wild. The internet is always quick to pick up on cryptic messages, and Bonnie's audience was no exception. People were stunned, trying to piece together what seemed like an unexpected revelation. Some were genuinely curious, while others couldn't help but be skeptical. Was she serious? Was this a joke? Or was it just another publicity stunt? Naturally, speculation ran rampant. The biggest question on everyone's mind was whether she was actually expecting. If so, who was the father? Was it one of the 1,057 men she had been with during her record-breaking feat, or was there someone else involved? And of course, the inevitable question, was protection even used?
Obviously, I have a sense of humor. I make jokes about everything, and in a way, that's how I cope with things. I'm not taking the piss out of if I can't get pregnant. It's just a way I deal with all these rumors about me being pregnant, or the hate online saying, oh my God, if she was pregnant, this kid is going to slide out.
It would probably just slide out.
At first, Bonnie did not seem to shy away from the rumors. In fact, she leaned into them, dropping vague but suggestive hints that only fueled the fire. She took to Instagram, posting a story teasing her followers with a statement about planning the world's biggest live stream of a birth in 8 months.
In just 8 months' time, I'm so excited to do the world's biggest live stream of a birth. Some women struggle to get pregnant, which is horrible, and I have a lot of spare, so I want to help resolve that.
The phrasing alone was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. That wasn't enough, she followed it up with an even more curious post, an image featuring pickles, chocolate sauce, and sprinkles. For many, this was the ultimate pregnancy craving cliche. People instantly latched into the idea that she was trying to subtly confirm the news, even though she hadn't explicitly said anything. Some fans excitedly congratulated her, while others remained wary, wondering if she was simply stirring the pot for attention. As expected, discussions erupted across multiple platforms. X, formerly Twitter, was flooded with hot takes, theories, and debates. Was she trolling? Was this a calculated move? Or was she genuinely sharing a deeply personal milestone in a way that only Bonnie Blue could? Memes quickly followed, along with reaction videos and online threads dissecting every little detail of her posts. It became a trending topic overnight, with some users even analyzing past interviews and clips for any previous indication of pregnancy. Regardless of where people stood, one thing was clear: Bonnie had successfully kept the internet talking. But whether she was ready for the storm she had created was another story altogether.
Obviously, I have a sense of humor. I make jokes about everything, and in a way, that's how I cope with things. I'm not taking the piss out of if I can't get pregnant. It's just a way I deal with all these rumors about me being pregnant, or the hate online saying, oh my God, if she was pregnant, this kid is going to slide out.
It would probably just slide out.
The reactions on X, formerly Twitter, were relentless. People debated whether one of the men from her record-breaking event was responsible for the pregnancy. Some insisted she must have used protection, while others doubted the logistics of such a scenario. Many pointed out how unlikely it would be for her to track down the father if she was indeed pregnant, while others speculated that she already knew and was keeping it private. But regardless of what people believed, the rumor had already taken on a life of its own. on. Memes, reaction videos, and wild theories flooded social media. Some users made jokes, poking fun at the absurdity of the situation, while others expressed genuine concern about the possible implications. Would this change the way she was perceived by her audience? Would this be a wake-up call for her? Others questioned the legal and ethical aspects of what she had done, asking whether her record-breaking event had been as controlled as she previously claimed. Then came the backlash. Bonnie, feeling the heat, addressed the speculation in a podcast interview with Josh Lee Spooner on YouTube. She clarified that she wasn't pregnant and that the whole thing had been a publicity stunt to raise money for someone's IVF journey. According to her, the intention was to do something good. She never actually confirmed she was expecting, and she would never ever lie about pregnancy.
I have been rumoured to be pregnant and it is false information, but usually I just take the backlash and I ignore it. This time I'm going to turn it into something good, and with the extra money I've earned from the increase of media, I'm going to put it towards somebody's IVF.
The last 24 hours, I've hinted at being pregnant. Like, I have never confirmed I was pregnant because I would never ever lie about pregnancy. Talking about illegals, 100%. Lying about pregnancy, step too far. Like, for us, it's massive slot. I tried to get pregnant for like a long amount of time, and it was honestly like the most lonely experience. If I was to have seen someone joking about pregnancy, I wouldn't have seen the funny side of it.
But here's where things get messy. If she would never joke about pregnancy, why make multiple posts implying it? If she had struggled with fertility itself, as she claimed in the podcast, wouldn't she be more sensitive about making light of the topic? Her statement seemed contradictory, and people weren't buying her explanation. Some felt she had used an emotionally charged issue to generate engagement, while others believed she had genuinely miscalculated how people would react. Instead of clearing things up, Bonnie's response only made people more skeptical. To make her case stronger, she doubled down on TikTok, posting a series of videos denying the pregnancy rumors. In one clip, she reminded everyone that she was the woman who slept with 1,057 men in 12 hours, and even mentioned losing condoms inside her, subtly trying to emphasize that protection had been used.
I'm the girl that slept with 1,057 men, lost condoms inside of me, but no, I am not pregnant. Instead, I want to turn these rumors into a positive and pay for somebody's IVF journey.
Many saw this as a weak attempt to shift the conversation. In another, she addressed claims that no one would marry her, sarcastically stating that sleeping with 1,057 men was her perfect solution to the idea that she needed to settle down. Some interpreted this as defiance, while others thought she was trying too hard to seem unbothered. But if she really wasn't pregnant, why was she so defensive? And why did she carefully frame her videos to avoid showing her stomach? Normally, Bonnie was all about flaunting her body, so why the sudden change? People couldn't help but wonder if she was hiding something. Some even pointed out that in past videos she had no problem showing off her midsection, yet now she was deliberately avoiding certain angles. Coincidence or calculated effort? Some suggested that Bonnie realized the pregnancy speculation was hurting her reputation and decided to spin the narrative. Instead of the internet scrutinizing whether she was pregnant, she shifted the focus to her being a philanthropist, raising money for women who need IVF treatments. A convenient cover-up story? Maybe.
I have been rumoured to be pregnant and it is false information, but usually I just take the backlash and I ignore it. This time, I'm going to turn it into something good. And with the extra money I've earned from the increase of media, I'm going to put it towards somebody's IVF journey.
IVF is expensive. Buying pregnancy tests every month, honestly expensive. And then you buy your ovulation tests. And then you're trying to buy all these vitamins.
So would you say it made you feel quite low?
Yeah, like it's hard, and then you see all these other people getting pregnant or people joking about it, and it's something you like, well, as a woman, like, why can't I get pregnant? I should be able to get pregnant. Yeah, I knew like my only sort of options was potentially IVF, and I didn't have the money for that.
But even then, her explanations felt inconsistent. Others believed she had used controversy as a marketing tool, but had underestimated how much backlash she would receive. Some even theorized that the pregnancy claim was an impulsive joke that spiraled out of control. Regardless of her true intent, the situation continued to fuel online discussions, keeping her name trending for weeks. Others even began dissecting her choice of words with precision, analyzing every phrase and social media post she had made in the recent week. Some argued that her initial phrasing was far too specific to be an accident. Why say she was planning her live stream of birth in 8 months if she wasn't pregnant? Why use the term cravings with stereotypical pregnancy-related foods? Theories emerged that Bonnie had, in fact, been pregnant, but later changed her mind about going public with it. Some speculated that she might have had a miscarriage and wanted to quietly step away from the rumor mill, while others thought she was simply backtracking after realizing the backlash was stronger than expected. Other social media users pointed out inconsistencies in her stories. If she had genuinely struggled with fertility, as she later claimed, why would she joke about pregnancy so openly? This added another layer of controversy, leading to further scrutiny over her intentions. Some critics went as far as suggesting that Bonnie had deliberately crafted a manipulative marketing strategy, one designed to generate outrage, engagement, and ultimately more visibility for her brand. Meanwhile, supporters defended her, urging that public figures often face exaggerated scrutiny, and then perhaps Bonnie had simply made an impulsive joke that spiraled out of control. Her past controversies did not help her credibility either. She's been called out before for involving barely legal 18-year-olds in her explicit content, claiming she was educating them. Many have criticized her for misleading young girls, making them believe it's women's fault when their partners cheat on them. With that kind of history, it wasn't surprising that people found it hard to trust her narrative. Even those who initially found her pregnancy hints amusing or provocative began to question whether she had gone too far this time. Bonnie had also been known to double down when criticized, often pushing back harder rather than admitting any wrongdoing. This situation was no different. Rather than simply letting the rumors die down, she kept engaging, making more posts, and attempting to control the narrative. But instead of quieting the noise, it only made people more invested in figuring out the truth. The more she spoke about it, the more people dissected her words, turning every statement into another talking point. Meanwhile, some internet users pointed out how the story was a reflection of today's social media culture, where influencers, creators, and online personalities leverage controversy to maintain relevance. Whether Bonnie was truly pregnant or not, the situation kept her name in the headlines, driving up an engagement and keeping her OnlyFans content in high demand. Some argued that in an age where clout chasing is the name of the game, Bonnie had played her cards exceptionally well. Others worried that if it was indeed a stunt, it set a dangerous precedent. Trivializing serious topics like fertility, struggles, and pregnancy loss. So what do you think? Was Bonnie really pregnant and backtracking because the response wasn't what she expected? Or was this all just an elaborate publicity stunt that went too far? And if she wasn't pregnant, why did she go to such great lengths to fuel the speculation? Did she underestimate the reaction, or was this all part of a bigger game plan? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates.